Many farmers finance their operations and grant lenders security interests in farm collateral, including crops and the proceeds thereof. However, those secured interests can come into conflict with various liens, including a warehouse lien. Roger McEowen with the Washburn University School of Law. He joins us now for your Rural Money segment. Thanks for joining us, Roger. Clearly, storage is so important to our producers. Let's start with an overview of the farm products rule and how it all ties into this.
Well, good to be with you, Christina. The Farm Products Rule really is an outgrowth of the 1985 Farm Bill, and what it says is that a buyer in the ordinary course that buys a farm product can do so free and clear unless the buyer has received notice of a security interest in that farm product from the farmer's lender within a year before they buy that farm product, such as grain, for example, or the buyer has received a notice of an effective financing statement from the Secretary of State's office and the buyer has failed to fulfill any notified payment obligations. So in other words, the lender is going to ask the farmer, who are you going to sell your grain to? I want a list of the possibilities as to who you're going to sell your grain to. I'm going to then notify them that I have a security interest in your grain. That's what that means. That's the starting point for analyzing these priority issues when we have conflicting interests.
Okay, now you always bring us some great examples. What can you share with us to help us really get our mind on how important this is?
Well, let me just give you a hypothetical situation. We know that the customary business practice of grain warehouses, elevators, and cooperatives is to, when they take grain in, they're going to offset their storage and drying costs from the grain sale proceeds paid to the farmer's secured lender. So they're going to sell that, the farmer's going to sell that grain after it's been stored and dried, and then when they sell it, the elevator is going to cut a check jointly to the farmer and their lender pursuant to the Farm Products Rule. But that check is going to be made of the net proceeds after the warehouse, pursuant to its warehouse liens, subtracts the amount for the cost that they incur for drying and storing the grain. The question is, can the elevator do that? Does their warehouse lien beat out the prior perfected interest that the lender has in that grain? And the answer to that question is yes, they can, but the detailed answer is it depends on the specific state warehouse lien statute, and that's what farmers need to be aware of, as well as lenders.
Absolutely. Big takeaway here, Roger. We don't have a lot of time left, but you can always wrap things up for us really nicely.
Yeah, the big takeaway is you've got to pay attention to your state lien warehouse lien statute. Is that a possessory lien? If that is a possessory lien, depending on the way the statute reads, that warehouse will likely have priority over a prior perfected secured lender if they're following the warehouse lien statute. But everybody needs to make sure they know up front how the law works.
Okay, and your state is going to dictate that. Roger McEowen with the Washburn University School of Law, thank you so much for joining us.